Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and you are watching the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of geek news, gadget views, and answers that you can use. And behind me, we see 457 patrons. Well, not all of them, just a representation of the 457 people who value me and this content more than the average cost of their favorite drink once a month. It's really easy to become a supporter if you want, and if you enjoy geek content. ChrisPirillo.com has more information. This video, by the way, being streamed live over the internet, and theoretically, everything is okay. I have to check the comments in the live stream below. Hello? Do you see me? Say something. Wait, are the comments down there now? I don't know. Maybe you're watching this video on your tablet or your phone. Hey, it doesn't matter. As long as you're tuned in, I'm happy. And thanks again for remembering to like, comment, share, subscribe, and of course, watch even more of our videos right now if you happen to be interested. It was a very slow news day today. That being said, I have a few interesting bits of information and knowledge to share with you. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and flip through the list of credits right now as I pull out a sheet of paper that isn't there. Oh well, that's fun. Hang on, I wasn't expecting to not find something that I was expecting to find there. Give me a second though. Always have a backup plan, and I believe that is not the backup plan. This is what happens when you have to do everything. Well, I don't have to do everything. By the way, in case you didn't know, I do pay people on a monthly basis to help me do things. And so it's not just me in the LockerGnome endeavor. So I really do appreciate the level of patrons that we have today, and hopefully that will continue to grow. So, here, though, as I'm doing the live stream, it's pretty much just me producing, talentizing, directing, and everything. The reason why I needed to find something is because we also have a sponsor for this broadcast. It was brought to you by GoToMeeting with HD Faces by Citrix, the powerfully simple way to meet online. You can share the same screen and see each other in HD video conferencing. Start hosting a GoToMeeting right now in seconds from your computer or mobile device by signing up for a free 30-day trial. Head over to GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free button, and use the promo code Pirillo. It's really easy to do, and we also have a special giveaway we're going to be announcing tomorrow in conjunction with Citrix. If you ever wanted to have a go-to meeting with me, that will be your opportunity to do just that. Hang on, my phone just buzzed. Oh, it's the LockerGnome app. That's awesome. Did you download the LockerGnome app? If you want to be updated to know when we've uploaded a new video to this particular channel, it's easy to do. It's available for iOS and Android. It is absolutely free, and thank you if you have downloaded it and you are using it. Oh, by the way, I have been using, as I mentioned last week, the new Mophie Space Pack, and I found another reason to love it. Not only does it double my battery life for the day, I've got 2 chiclets left on the back, it adds some bulk, but it protects it somewhat in a way that I would want in a phone. But most importantly, the speakers are redirected. So now I have front-facing speakers on my iPhone. It's kind of nice. If you wanted that and you were jealous from all the HTC One owners, let's face it, having front-facing speakers is nice, convenient, especially when you're watching videos. Not like this. Or not like this. Not unlike this. Watching other videos, really, and hopefully you're doing just that. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this particular broadcast, it was a slow news day, but I got some bits of information that I think are valuable. Your name could be here tomorrow. All you have to do is become a patron at a certain level and say, yes, Chris, your content is worth it. I know I got 2 postcards from the community today, including one from someone who did not leave his name on the postcard. That's okay. He happens to be a dog and a Star Wars fan. And he's all the way from Mexico City. He enjoys the vlog. And they wish us the best of luck with the baby. Los queremos cuídense mucho. I don't know what that means. Here, Diana, translate that for me. If you can, she speaks Spanish way better than I do. And this one from Matt Pegler in the UK. Boy, we have an international audience. He sent this postcard to congratulate us on the baby as well. Thank you for this. I really do appreciate the physicality of the connection points, because emails are easy to send, but the postcards, well, they'll theoretically last forever until they biodegrade. So now, turning our attention to what I have written down, it includes... What? Oh, my Flash hoodie? Is that what you were asking about? Did you want to know where you can get this particular Flash hoodie, I'm happy to announce that we've officially launched shop.lockergnome.com. You can head over to that link. We've got it in this video's description. And there you can buy all sorts of geeky goodness. See, there I am modeling the Flash hoodie with an action shot. Love that. Wolverine, Magneto, Wolverine again, Spider-Man, and I'm an arachnophobe, and I'm wearing that, as well as Venom. We have all sorts of geeky goodness, and yes, we are going to be shipping internationally, at least to some people, depending if we can support your country and where we're shipping. This is a completely new endeavor for us, and it's really a part of the future direction that I'd like to go. I mean, yes, talking about the day's geek news is fun and it's interesting, but I really enjoy wearing hoodies, and I really enjoy when I'm able to impact your life in such a way that you want to wear similar things, or let your geek flag fly by wearing or showcasing your geekiness in whatever it happens to be. So with any luck, it will continue to evolve over time. Thanks again for your support. It comes with a Pirillo promise. I don't want to detail that right now, if only because I may be doing a separate video on the store. Tomorrow, Mom is going to be doing a live Ask Me Anything in this very video channel because we reached 450 patrons. Tune in for that. Now, this wasn't really news, but everybody and their mother seemed to send me this link. There is a rather disgusting idea. And I'm not trying to slag Oscar Mayer for the idea. I think it's a great idea theoretically, but it's an iPhone attachment that it comes with. You have an app that is connected to the attachment, and instead of the alarm going off, you'll get the scent of bacon. Well, okay, that's an interesting idea. I haven't smelled it yet, but my feeling towards bacon scented or bacon flavored anything is usually bleh. Oh, I wouldn't want that. I don't want it. Okay. I'll smell it, and if it smells like bacon, sure, I'm a fan. But thanks for sending me the link, folks, but I am absolutely most likely not interested. Because bacon-scented doesn't smell like bacon. I love bacon, period. I don't love bacon-flavored stuff or bacon-scented anything. Just FYI. So thanks for passing that along, but I've seen it. Probably not interested until I smell it. And I don't want to buy it to smell it to find out that, oh, or maybe I should. Maybe you guys want me to do that. Maybe you want me to waste my money on something that doesn't smell like bacon. Is that what I am to you? Is that what our relationship has come down to? Okay, fine. Clear is still currently free in the App Store on iOS, and if you have not used Clear yet, it's a to-do app that a lot of people seem to love. I had downloaded it a while back, but never really used it. My inbox tends to be my task list. Here it is. I have it on my phone. I don't think I have anything in it, but you can swipe around, swipe down, swipe over, and all this stuff, and see, I have no tasks. I have a quote. But if you want a free top-selling app for free, if you want a free top-selling app for free, I think you get the idea. Clear for iOS. The links, by the way, for everything that I'm talking about are in this video's description as always. You may not have heard of another service called Airbnb if you're not a big traveler, but the idea is you can rent out your apartment or parts of your house for travelers and make some money. Well, the legality depends on which city you happen to live in, saves a lot of people money. Of course, it can make you money as well. Either way, Airbnb has been a very popular service, at least for the past year. I hear a lot of the people that I follow in social talk about it frequently. I've never used it. However, that said, there is now a service called AirPnP. So if you want to use somebody's bathroom or let your bathroom be used by other people, there is now a service to accommodate you. AirPnP. I don't think I would do that either way. Not that I'm happy with public restrooms at all, but it's a little too personal there for me. Different strokes for different folks. Oh, and speaking of things that are online, a few days ago, Funny or Die had posted a parody video about the hoverboard, and I knew it was obviously a parody. It just was plain as the day is long. Did I just mix metaphors again? It was obvious to me that this hoverboard video with Tony Hawk and Christopher Lloyd was a fake. But, it was fun to think that a hoverboard was real. It just didn't seem real at all. And it wasn't. And in fact, so many people believed this that the hoverboard video was real, that Tony Hawk had to produce another video saying, look, guys, it's not real. I'm sorry. I figured you guys would know that it wasn't real. I'm like, who are you out there to believe that that would be real? Don't believe everything you see on the internet, including idiots wearing flash hoodies, streaming live on YouTube. There you go. I've just undermined my credibility. Finderyz has just been released today. Or I'm sorry, not Finderyz. I had a typo. I added a Z. It's called Findery. Just Findery. It's for social local discovery, currently available just for iOS. This they apparently have been working on for years. But think of Findery as an app that you could use to mark a spot, kind of like geocaching, if you will. But let's say you're in a park and you have no idea about the history of this park, and you want to know more. Well, you could potentially pull up in Findery, and if it happens to be a popular location, someone may have checked in there and said, in this spot in 1847, this happened. So you can find out more about what's around you through this particular app. I think it's a stellar idea, especially if you love traveling. I don't know if I would use it that much, but as I said at the beginning of this broadcast, it was a slow news day. So I'm reaching and finding new app launches and sharing many of them with you. This is one of the reasons why when I was doing TLDR, before we had the Patreon campaign set up, it was difficult some days because you'd have to stretch. Like, not every day is a hot news day that's a hotbed of activity of general geek news. Not just tech stuff, but just geeky things in general. It's certainly difficult to kind of scrape the bottom of the barrel, but, hey, bear with me, folks. Every day can't be the same. Thanks for your support. The iPin Laser Projector is on sale. This is a device that we showcased. I couldn't find it. I know I've got it here somewhere. Actually, give me a second. I'm going to break protocol and walk across the room. My home office here. Oh, sorry, I mean workshop. Aha! I did place it there. When we were doing the Pirillo Picks videos in the other YouTube channel, I featured this. This little device goes into your iPhone's headphone jack if it's exposed, unlike it would be on this device. And then through a way of an app, you can turn your iPhone into a laser pointer. It is rather neat. It works really well, and we have it on sale right now at deals.lockergnome.com if you are a gadget freak. There you go, gadget view for the day. I don't know if I really have anything else. Another thing that came across my desk, and I did look deeper because normally when they announce a project but don't have anything for anybody else to look at, I kind of ignore it. However, this was absolutely fascinating. I'm already a fan, and I haven't even used it past a very brief demo. Something called Spritz. That's Spritz. You head over to spritzinc.com. Don't worry about typing anything in. Just use the links in the video's description. It's a speed reading application that I believe is currently in line to launch with the Samsung Galaxy S5 and maybe a couple of other Android devices at this stage, but they're looking for partners and what have you. What it does is rather fascinating. They use something called optimal recognition point, and in the demo, I was effectively reading at 500 words a minute. I was shocked. I mean, normally 150 words and I'm doing well. You speak at about 150 words a minute unless you're Chris Pirillo, in which case it's probably 300. But the idea behind this app is that they rearrange or reposition each particular word and show them to you in rapid succession, and your mind should be able to keep up. So I tried the demo and was able to read at 500 words a minute. And I'm like, wow, if I could read that fast, that quickly, and comprehend or at least retain the information that I was reading, I could see myself using that in just about everything. I would be able to read so many books. I mean, apart from the books that I might listen to, it's a different experience when you're listening compared to when you're reading. So you got to take a look at the demo. You got to try this for yourself, especially if you consider yourself a slow reader. You probably can read faster. It's just that words as they're printed on a page or even a web page, they're not optimized for reading as much as what they've done with this particular, I don't know what you'd call it, an app. It's what they're calling it, a speed reading app. I'm very excited to see that actually roll out and try it. Very, very interesting. You got to try it for yourself, and you'd be surprised. You could probably read quickly as well. Facebook. Told you guys this is a slow news day. Facebook is rolling out an updated design. Now, normally I'd go, but they are. And I keep refreshing my Facebook page, and nothing's changed. They've apparently been testing this new design for the past year. We'll see if it increases anything. The one thing that I wish Facebook would do is make it easier for friends and followers to be able to see what their favorite people or brands happen to be doing. And Facebook doesn't make that as intuitive as they could, and we've gone into, I have dived into my feelings on what they've done in the past, so I don't want to belabor that point now. But if you see a new design update in the coming days, weeks, months, do not be surprised. It is coming. Some people are already seeing it. Facebook never really, when they changed their design, I've never really been put off by changes. I'm the kind of guy that when a website design changes, usually it's done for the better. Usually. Very rarely have I've been put off by a redesign. Some people have, to the point where they may even abandon a site or a service based on a redesign. Case in point, Dig 2.0. That was more than just a redesign of the website. It was just a fundamental replumbing, really, of what Dig was. That's one of the reasons why it kind of failed. If you are a ComiXology user, you've possibly had your account compromised. Be sure to log in to your account and change the password. You should have received an email notification about that. But considering that there are probably a few comic book geeks out there, you'd be aware. I am not so much a comic book geek. Not that I wouldn't want to become one. I enjoy comics. I really do. I think I enjoy the artistry of comics more than anything else. And it's been very difficult for me to find comics that are worthy of my eyes' attention. I enjoy certain universes. I had, when I was growing up, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Star Wars, sci-fi types of comic books, maybe a couple of Spider-Mans and superhero things. But, I never really got into it. I would want and hope, and I think there are actually options for this, to one day have a Netflix-like model for comic books. Then I might be interested. If it was priced at a level that I thought was reasonable. I know there are verticals like Marvel Unlimited, but that's just Marvel. What about DC? What about Dark Horse? What about all the other comic collections out there? With any luck, we'll get there eventually, and then I would probably be paying more attention to it. I tend to, though, want to digest something when it's done, right? I watched Battlestar Galactica, the newest version of Battlestar, after everything had wrapped up. Have not yet begun watching Breaking Bad, I know, but now it's done. So I know I can catch up on a subscription service and know that I'm not going to miss anything. Even if I love the show, or content or product, sometimes it's difficult to keep up with it or catch up with it, and then I fall behind, and then I just forget about it because I don't want to miss an episode, or I might miss an episode and then not miss an episode. It's difficult to keep up with content these days. So that was my offshoot around ComiXology. If you used QuizUp on iOS, it's now available on Android. It was is a fun application if you're a fan of trivia. Easy to play, quick to put up, place down. Pretty popular for a while, although I don't hear much about it anymore. I did in the very beginning when people became addicted to it, much like a lot of these flash in the pans happen to be, like Flappy Bird or Words with Friends or Draw Anything. Was it Draw Anything? God, it's been so long I forget. I enjoyed that for about a week. So now QuizUp is available for Android, and it was a good, I would say, a good approach to the trivia game with social crossover. Sega Go Dance is the free app of the week in the iTunes App Store, so if you have an iOS device, you can download that for free right now. And see, you can't say that I'm only talking about iOS today because I just mentioned an Android app right there. This is apparently the first dance app for iOS, and you can get it for free. So you set up your iOS device in front of you, use AirPlay to beam it onto the TV, and then dance on your iOS device or through your iOS device. And I know there are going to be in-app purchases, which I'm not a huge fan of, but at least you can download it for free to see if it's something that you would enjoy spending more money on if you happen to be a fan of dancing apps. I'm going to break form, take a sip out of my good cop, bad cop cup. Although I was disappointed with this cup. It doesn't have the squiggly face good cop when he adds his face. Oh, sorry. Spoilers. Needed a quick refresher there. Now, normally in a TLDR broadcast, I'm giving you my perspective, my thoughts as I'm seeing things throughout the day and compile them into this video for you. I've been running my own business since 1996. It's a business called LockerGnome, and I've done a lot of things within LockerGnome. I've worked with a lot of people, had a lot of partners, certainly a lot of experiences, and the business continues to evolve over time. Obviously, I mean, we just launched the Patreon campaign to push things forward without being so reliant on advertising. We just launched the LockerGnome Geek Lifestyle Store for people to buy geeky things through us. We're going to continue to evolve that way. But over the past, I would say even few years, I've had this, not weight on my shoulder, but there are certain things that entrepreneurs experience that non-entrepreneurs don't. And you might take in the content, you may experience the content, but unless you've been like a YouTube producer, you may not understand the stresses and strains of a YouTube producer. Mind you, I'm not just talking about YouTube producers. I'm talking about entrepreneurship in general. And unless you're a communist, you're probably working somewhere. You need to work somewhere. Maybe you're looking for a job. You're trying to find a job. Maybe you're a manager. You're just a regular employee. Maybe you're an employer. There was an article published on Inc. magazine titled "The Psychological Price of Entrepreneurship." And even though I'm not on the precipice of self-destruction, it seems that I'm certainly not alone with feeling stresses and strains. Now, I'm not the type of business owner that really expected to ever go into business. I guess I'm an accidental entrepreneur, but I've been lucky enough to be able to survive this long, despite various and sundry changes in the industry that, I chose to go down, and that would be kind of primarily content publishing to this stage. If you really want to get inside of my head, this, I think, is a fantastic place to start. It is a rather lengthy article, but certainly worth your time and attention, especially if you happen to love, a YouTube producer. Because I bet a lot of YouTube producers are in the same boat. I never went after funding. Everything that I have done to this point has been bootstrapped. The closest thing that I've really had has been the crowdfunding that, we're now doing on a monthly basis, which is adding a layer of stability to my business endeavors, the likes of which I have not yet seen. But you just, as an entrepreneur, you stress out about, conditions that are beyond your control. And, some entrepreneurs have reached this escape velocity and been able to outlive their costs. But sometimes, at a greater cost. And, it could lead to suicides, major depression, other problems that exist. I mentioned in a vlog a few weeks ago that this business is the closest thing that I've had to a baby up until this point, and now we'll be having a real baby, which is going to be, another, it's like my life version 4.0. That begins here in a few months. I'm just prepping for it now. But this business, it's more than just me, to the point where, I'm doing this for you, talking about the things that I come across on a daily basis in TLDR, but I'm able to figure out how to be passionate about things and share my passions with the world and be able to pay the bills. And I've inspired others to do the same. And it's great when I get emails from people saying that I inspired them to do the same. That's freaking awesome. But someone asked me on Twitter, I'm like, I'm thinking about quitting my job and becoming an entrepreneur. I don't know if that's something I would recommend for everybody, because it's not as easy as just quitting your job and then pursuing an idea. It comes with so many stresses and strains that I can't even begin to explain. The article outlined it very well. Dissolved partnerships, problems with customers, increased competition, meeting payroll, just adjusting to a gazillion things, waking up at 3 a.m. wondering what the hell's going to happen next. And I bring this up if only because it was just published and it means a lot to me. And I've also, like I said, I've also kind of been on this precipice of knowing that I need to change the way that I'm doing business. Just haven't figured out how that's all going to work. You always, I don't know if this is a sports thing, but you play to your strengths. And it's difficult to know what your strengths are until you've recognized all of your weaknesses. And trust me, I've got more weaknesses than I do strengths. The idea behind doing Patreon instead of relying on ads and sponsors alone, the idea behind launching a geek lifestyle store, doing Vlogger Fair again, doing all these things that I can possibly do to increase stability and longevity without killing myself, right? I mean, I'm lucky enough to be able to do what I do, but that doesn't come cost free. I mean, it comes with a cost. And I'm doing my best to adjust to market conditions and my weaknesses to be able to do better and to make sure that I'm going to be able to do what I'm doing now a year from now instead of having to work at a fast food restaurant to make ends meet. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not in dire straits. There's no stresses or strains or anything like that. But these are still certain realities that I face. So it's slightly off the beaten path of geekiness, but it's still very much been my life for the past 15, 16 years. I mean, what you've seen with Chris Pirillo in every way, pretty much every way, shape, and form, it's been underscored by this entrepreneur mindset, this having to deal with business and problems in business and making decisions that if you make the wrong decision can destroy you or take you to a level that is far beyond anything that you ever could have imagined. And, it's something that I hope to have a better handle on as time goes on. I've made a lot of really poor decisions based on poor analysis, based on not just my gut, but trusting people that I should never have trusted. And, you got to rely on other people to do things. You do. You can't do things on your own. But sometimes finding the right people for the right task is for me, has been challenging over the years. And that's something that I'm hoping to mitigate as we grow, especially with the Patreon campaign. That, I believe, is really going to help me be able to find the people who can make sure I'm able to do what I can do and do it better and do more. Not just for myself, but specifically for you. Half hour a day live on YouTube, plus a vlog, plus the zillion other things that I might do would be a bonus. But I've got some ideas about the direction I'd like to go. I mentioned some of them on the Patreon page. A Portal board game, shifting back to geekiness for a moment, is coming later this fall. If you enjoyed Portal at all, you're jumping through one wall and then coming out another, it's going to be a board game. I don't know if you're excited about that, but if you loved Portal, you may enjoy it playing it in real life. DirectX 12 is set to be announced at GDC. I believe DirectX 11 was released in 2009, so it's been a few years. It's good to see Microsoft has not abandoned the DirectX ball. Competition, hello, OpenGL, DirectX, come on, competition. You need it to keep the industry, whatever industry it is, very healthy. By the way, I found out today, side note, CoverGirl is following me on Twitter. CoverGirl. They've got hundreds of thousands of followers. They're following right around 2,000 people, and I am one of them. I know they're not going to watch this video, and I tweeted it earlier. I'm like, I don't know why I would be interesting for them to follow, but if CoverGirl wants to follow me, great. Do not expect that I'm going to start doing makeup, eyebrow, eyelash, hairstyle tips that I know of. That's not my immediate future, my personal immediate future. Tomorrow, Netflix gets the Clone Wars series, Season 6, The Lost Missions, will also be included. I'm very, very happy about this because I've missed a lot of the Clone Wars in the past. Wanted to watch them on disc, but just didn't spend the money on it because I was like, I just haven't had time to digest content that way. I was waiting for something like this to happen, so I am very, very happy about not just being able to see the Clone Wars series in its entirety, but also Season 6, The Lost Missions, which are very Yoda-heavy, but also could address a few of the questions that some of us had, especially after seeing Attack of the Clones, which I wasn't thrilled about. So hopefully we'll see some of the story gaps closed with Season 6. I don't know if we're really going to hear a close from what happened at the end of Season 5 with Ahsoka kind of basically, leaving the Jedi Order. Not if you guys never watched the Clone Wars, maybe time to watch it, especially if you have a Netflix account. Speaking of Netflix, they are prioritizing their expansion effort based on the House of Cards piracy stats. So they're watching how many people are pirating their content in which countries, and based on the amount of people pirating in whatever country that they don't exist in yet, that's where they're going to go next. Because you go to where your customers are, and if those customers, they want to get, the content, they're going to get it however they can, especially if they can't get it through legal means. Well, it makes sense for Netflix to adopt that model. So piracy is not always bad if you have the ability to address it, and I think Netflix does. I'm very happy to see them take this approach with what they're doing with content and analysis, especially in relation to content piracy. The last thing I'll mention, then I'm going to go ahead and close it out, is Tickle is another new app that's going to be coming soon that will help you get out of awkward situations, much like the end of this video. It got awkward, didn't it? It's not out yet, but you basically you move your app in a certain, or you move your phone in a certain way, and it'll fake a call to get you out of an awkward situation. Great idea. Don't do that, right now. Hopefully it's not been too awkward. I will leave you to your own devices, but first, want to again thank you for remembering to like, comment, share, subscribe, watch even more of our videos right now. Become a patron if you can, and just continue to support me in whatever ways that you seem fit, that you seem to want to do, that you deem fit, you deem worthy. All right, now it is getting awkward. We'll see you later.